Hey family, sorry for the dark and the crazy hair. Just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Um, you guys remember my wife, Katie, that our last child, when we first started the ministry, was having some really severe pregnancy complications to the point where it caused her tremendous bleeding. She'd almost died. I mean, it was pretty intense. And so we recently, like 5 or 6 days ago, found out that we were expecting another baby, which is always very exciting. And today we were going to go get some early pictures to show my parents and things like that. And my wife stood up and lo and behold, a bunch of blood kind of fell out of her again. So we rushed her down to the emergency room. We were there for about 7 hours, running various blood work and different tests and things of that nature. So if I'm looking kind of haggard and run down, honestly, dude, it's because I am. So we're there for a while. Initially, they didn't really seem to care. So my wife ended up going to a different emergency room, dropped her off at a different one, and then we ended up bringing her back to the original one because the other one was telling her that she had to go to the first one. And so my wife is 6 weeks pregnant. Super exciting. We're in the emergency room because she's bleeding a bunch and there are complications. And so to make a long story short, they told us that we need to come back in 2 days to see if, I think it's HCG, whatever the number is, that basically shows viable pregnancy. If it goes up, baby will continue. If it goes down, we'll lose the baby. And I'm just gonna be super honest. This has been a very, very intense season between my health issues and my daughter and my wife. With work, it's been really hard. You guys didn't know I ended up having a heart episode a couple weeks ago at work. And, it was a whole deal. I ended up having to get ambulance to the ER. I was in VFib. My short-term pericarditis blossomed, as I like to say, into chronic pericarditis, which is treatable with medication. But I've been going intermittently into VFib, which is where your heart pumps, but it's not really circulating blood. So that's been ongoing, and I've been battling through that, trying to make sure that my family is taken care of and provided for while I go to work. So long story short, aside just now about my own heart issue and everything, my wife was bleeding a lot today. We spent a lot of time in the emergency room, and in 48 hours, we will know if our baby will live or will go to be with Jesus early. If you guys know from listening from before, we've already had 2 miscarriages, and while we are excited that those kiddos are already with Jesus, it's brutal, man. And so to really kind of be on the cusp of a potential third is pretty challenging. And we could just use some prayer, because in 2 days we'll know if our baby is going to go be with Jesus or if our baby is going to keep progressing through natural pregnancy. And we could just pray for the baby, for my wife and myself, for peace and for provision, honestly, during a pretty hectic time. If I end up having to miss work because of making sure that my wife or baby are taken care of, I could just use some prayer and clarity on what to do about that, because it's been brutal. And so I know that y'all have been missing the videos, and I know that some of you guys have emailed about missing the live streams and stuff, but for the last chunk of change here, it's just been getting our teeth kicked in nonstop. And so I just want to let you know how much I appreciate your patience and your prayers. And please just be praying for my wife, Katie, for our unborn son or daughter, and, God's peace and his provision, especially during this time. So I appreciate you guys. I know that I'm not the only one who's going through a season of just one thing after another. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, I'm weary and tired and worn down, and I could just use some prayer. So I know my wife could as well. So God bless you guys, and I hope that we get to hang out in a more positive environment soon. Thanks.